How's it going? So you probably picked up on the Tundra event going on with the trader of the truck. You're wondering how this works. Basically, you escort a truck. Pretty straightforward. Now you might be wondering, what's my assistance? You help other people escort their trucks. And you can invite to depart other people. That's pretty much how that works. So you want your best squad possible. And, of course, then you get to going to others' truck, right? You might be wondering, well, what the heck's this? So you go around, you look for, somebody. You can view it and see what they have for troops and what the rewards are for a raid. So, for example, I'll hit this. And if it's an option, I'll have a set number of raids. And in this case, it's 2 out of 2, so there's nothing left to be rated. Okay. But the point is, with the trucks in particular, and I'll kind of go back here and I'll show you what I mean, is during Alliance Showdown, you're going to get rewards and points pretty much based on contribution. So if you're escorting trucks, raiding trucks, using construction speed, boosts, lots of points, right? And you're trying to do this because you want daily rewards. You're going to get some star rewards, which will give you presumably a Tundra truck for your city, right? And then you can also rank and get some crystals and some mythic general shards and so on. And the idea is you want to beat the alliance that you're up against. So you're going to constantly go about it, and try to basically do what you can. So like here, I'm 0 out of 4. I gotta wait another 5 hours and 26 minutes before I can do more raids. But the idea is you can just consistently raid other players, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the same alliance. But again, the idea is kind of the same. You're ultimately trying to get points. So you're going to do a lot of escorting, a lot of gathering during this event. Of course, obviously you're gonna get points just from doing your construction, training. I mean, there's so many different ways to go about it. You're not really gonna be constrained to any one thing. I will say that, like anything, you'll probably want to gather a lot. So get into the habit of sending out your gatherers and getting as many resources as you can. Because like if it's anything like our state versus state, you might notice my might dropped. We got hit pretty hard. There wasn't really a whole lot on that front to discuss, really, other than we did have this one rally, so I can kind of show you. I wasn't online for this because I was away, so I wasn't around to be able to really do anything about it. But as you can tell, it was not good. It was really bad. Didn't have gear on my defense hero. Wasn't ready for this hit at all, and you wound up getting completely just beaten to a pulp. Even though I still had a pretty significant troop advantage, it doesn't really work out that well anyway in the end when you're statistically so far behind. Anyway, so that said, as far going back to Tundra Trade Route, the main thing that I will say for you if you're looking for some tips is you can always go to the rules tab here and you can kind of see what you can do. You can refresh different trucks. For defense, you can select up to 3 heroes, increase or decrease your combat attributes while the truck is on the move. These are all things that you can adjust and move around. But like, for example, say if I looked at this and I said, I don't know what I want to do. I don't like what I have, vice versa. Once it departs, you're kind of screwed. So you kind of have to make your mind up before you depart it. That's why I suggest when you're going around and actually picking your vehicles, you want to try and put the best possible troops you have available to. You don't want to have them all gathering and then decide you want to do this. And at the same token, you're also going to want to attack the trucks, especially the ones that are against the opposing alliance, because this is what's going to give you, again, going back to the points thing here, okay? The emphasis here is that by going around and kind of slowing them down, you're giving yourself an opportunity to basically get ahead. Of course, there's a battle record here, so you can kind of see how alliance showdown works, but pretty much 2 alliances will compete against each other for about 6.5 days. You get daily chests, personal points, daily victory and defeat. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you can read up on if you want to know more of the finer details, but pretty much it goes in phases. So like in the first phase, you're going to get points for escorting and raiding. Of course, you get to the second phase, and you'll notice that you don't see as much change here, right? But then you get to the third phase, and oh, hey, what do you know? Chief charms and advancement and wild marks. Fourth phase, you're going to have hero essence gear, mithril, and training troops. Fifth phase, as you can tell, it's kind of like turned into kind of a state versus state in a way. That's really kind of how I would describe this, where state of power is really emphasizing on going against another state. This is kind of going against a single guild. So you'll devote a lot of time to this. Obviously, you're going to want to try and get the most amount of points as you can possible, so that way you can get your alliance ahead. Really about all you can do is just make sure you're doing everything you can in the showdown. And then in the schedule, it'll actually give you an idea of what matches you have coming up. And so for that reason, it's really kind of limited to just whatever your raids are and what your resources are at any given time. Obviously, you want to make sure you kind of keep track of when the time required is, because you're going to want to come back here when those are done, resend them when they're ready, so that way you can get your escorts out. Obviously, you want to send up as many departures as you can per day, so that way you're getting the most amount of points. That's about 40,000 points, basically, you have on the table if you're not doing that. But otherwise, that's really about all there is for the event, so hopefully that was helpful for you, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.